juicing up task in Costa Atardecer, Chiapas. Hello there everybody and welcome to another special episode of SnowRunner here at OpenFed Gaming. I am the OpenFed. Today we are in the juicing up task where we pick up a generator and two service spare parts, deliver them to the old antenna. Now we are in the Jangsu RX600 and we've already delivered the generator. We only have the two service spare parts to deliver that we're picking up here at the service hub right now. And we're on our way to the old antenna to finish this part, the second part, the last part of this task. Now we're not too far away, but there are a few little trouble spots that we're gonna come up against. And one's right up here in front of us. And now they're not really big problem areas, so if you take it a little bit slower, you're not going to have any trouble. But if you're in a hurry and you try and go through those gully type little tricky areas, you might just end up bouncing your truck off the side and go down the right hand side, just like right here. And every truck you drive that you want to go through areas like this, you might have to attack it a little bit different depending upon how big of a nose you got on the front of your truck or how flat it is. You might have to go a little bit more of an angle. It just all depends on what you're driving. Now the Jangsu is a fantastic truck. It's a small truck. He's not as big as the big ones, but he still has the two cargo spots. Now if he has a drawback, the only drawback he would have would be the lack of a crane. But let's be real, he's a pretty small truck. I don't know if there's really a lot of room for a crane. However, as far as the rest is concerned, he has lots of power, great traction, does not mind the cross-country terrain, can go back and forth across these windy little tracks with ease, and best of all, he's not afraid of water. He's a good swimmer, and nothing seems to stop him. So for Chiapas, and actually for any other map too, this truck is a really good addition to your fleet, your garage. So I think we're going to keep him around for a while and try him out on a bunch more of our tasks here in the Chiapas region. Now here we're getting to water, and like I was telling you, for this truck, swimming is an option. You don't have to drive him, you can swim him where you gotta go. Now, the service hub where we came from is pretty close to the central area of the map, and we gotta go over to the left-hand side, the west side of the map, and up a little bit of an angle. So we don't have too far to go. But like I said, we got a couple little trouble areas like this. It's amazing that this truck is almost completely underwater and still keeps going. Like, this truck is a dream to drive, as long as you don't go too fast, because if you go too fast, these big balloon tires that I've got on there, they seem to bounce a little bit. So you do have to keep that in mind and go a little bit slower. And if you've got really a real big problem areas where you got to try and climb or you've got trouble, if you stick it into the high range of the low gear, and then when you need the extra traction just low, you're pretty well set for anything that you could come up against. Now, I did have a little bit of trouble here. The water is not that deep, so it's got to be the traction underneath. So when you have that kind of a problem, then the only thing you can do is just use Mr. Winch and get him to help you out and pull you forward, and hopefully you'll get into an area that's got a little bit better traction for you. Just like that. Now we run into a little bit more trouble here. We got to get around that little tree right in front of me. The problem is when you pull with a winch, it pulls you straight towards the thing that you're pulling on, and I want to go around it, not straight towards it. So I keep letting it go and just turn the wheel a little bit so it pulls the truck a little bit around it, and then keep pulling back on that tree, and then try to make it around like that. And sometimes you have to have a little bit of patience. And then he pulls himself right out of there. Just like that. Now over here, luckily we get to climb out of the water. I mean, that's enough of the water for a little bit now. We got to go back up into the hill to go and deliver these 2 pallets or 2 boxes of service spare parts. Now when we get close to where we got to turn to go into the hill to deliver, because the old antenna where we got to go to is up on a little bit of a hill, and there's 2 ways to go. Now the first time when I went up there, when I pulled the generator up, I went the one way and I was not really too happy with it. It was hard up top to turn around, so I came back down the other way, and it was a much easier way. So we're going to try that one today. And as you can see, the Jangsu doesn't have too much of a problem climbing either. Although with problem areas you do got to slow down, because you don't want to tip the truck, because if you tip the truck, then we're going to have to call out a rescue vehicle to come and put him back up on its wheels. But if you take a little bit of care in the way you drive, then you should be okay. Now down here, I went to the left-hand side of that rock, and I went to the right-hand side of that big flat rock, and either way I didn't like, so today we're going to climb right over top of it, and it seemed to work a lot easier. I mean, on either side the mud was fairly deep, and I was stuck in there for a bit before I could get through there, so over the rock I think is the only way to go. And then just over here there, you got to be careful and go slow through here, because it really tips your truck to the right. That's right there. If you go slow, you'll be okay. Now we're getting close. The drop-off box is on the screen, so you know we're not too far away. Now you can go up. I believe it is right over here on the left-hand side, but we're not taking that route. We're going to go a little bit further. Just up ahead here. After we get through these rocks here, and we're going to have to jockey the truck a little bit, because the road angles at a different direction. So we got to make sure we're kind of lined up for it. But right here is where we're going to go up. And as you can tell, it's a lot smoother. It's still steep, but it's a lot smoother and a little bit easier to navigate. Put it into the low range. If you can go a little faster if you like, you can put it in the high range of the low gear, but low gear is good enough for now. And we climb right up there. Absolutely awesome. Hope you enjoyed the video. Hope you got some hints or tips out of it, and hope to see you back at OPFET Gaming again real soon. Until then, you've been delivering two big boxes of service spare parts up to the old antenna in the Jangsu RX600. With me as your driver, the OPFET.